We just looked at the future. So last time we added some industrial space. This time we're gonna do some errands that we should have done. Is finish this breakwater, which we do rather quickly, I think. Maybe. I'm using Zardas's rocks that won't complain. Although right now I'm either slightly rotating it as I do that, or I'm gonna rely on rotating outside, rocks on the periphery to break up that. But I wanted to make sure we had a nice sloping shore on the ocean side, and then something a little more steep. Yeah, I'm rotating, I could see. So you hold down the right mouse button to rotate. These behave as props, so that works great. Although I just totally blew through my prop count, and I think I ended up realizing how many rocks I put down, and then I kind of thinned it out a little bit. Like, okay, this needs to get lower, this needs to get lower. Keep making it lower. Keep smoothing it out. You got this, rocks, you got this. And let my city flood. I hope they have flood insurance. And I'm trying to just elevate it enough. And I didn't realize I didn't stop the sun movement. So I'm like, oh, that looks pretty. So I sat there and I watched it. There. I mean, maybe people are brave enough to try to walk all the way out there. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I guess maybe when you get out there, less pollution in the water, I guess. I took away the nice sandy painting in the harbor side, and I put down, I believe it was ore. I believe that is ore. It might also be fertile, which is weird. But I repainted it with a different texture based on the map theme's coloring for that resource. There we go. I'm using less rocks than what I originally thought, because I managed to keep that little peak skinny enough to let the props bend over top of it. And I'm like, well, they would probably have a lot of these rocks here, And now my ocean is flooding back in. Now incidentally, every time I start this map, I have flooding in the harbor. And then it just goes back out. It's weird. There. Done. Ish. Maybe. Oh, I realize I could plop a few of these, and then I think I could redo. I think I run a bit of resource underneath those rocks, but it also might have been I crashed during this process. This is when the crashing was probably at one of its highest. Then I'm thinking to myself, these guys would probably have this seawall all the way around this harbor. I'm also thinking, would we even have housing here? What would I put here? Is this like... Do we start our housing? Like, there has to be people that live near the docks. Probably people that work at the docks. Right? Anytime I worked outside of the house, I always wanted to live near work. And I really enjoyed my time living in Boulder, Colorado, where I literally could walk to work. That was... One, the views from my apartment were gorgeous, but two... I could walk or bike to work. Or take the bus. I had a bus pass. Got me around town. Got me down to Denver. Got me out to the airport. Throw on the music on your iPod or later your iPhone. Or what have you. Whatever device. And take the bus to the airport. Or down to Denver. Or over to a friend's house. But I walked to work. Or I biked. I did enjoy biking to work. And now starts the not industrial, not harbor related part. I don't think we've completely moved away from the harbor. I think there's one or two more, like, I'm going to need to add this and add this. But we start non-harbor related things right now. This is a momentous occasion in this series because until then it's literally been boats, trains, and power plants. So I grabbed those three buildings out of the handful that I looked at, and these are hotels. Now, I specifically made them hotels because I want them to function as a hotel. Although, I don't think I have it... I don't think I made a district. I might need to make a district. Anyway, these hotels service the passenger terminal on the pier, on the dock, and they get a you know, the tourist treatment. Like, we're gonna make it all palm trees and sunshine here. Now, what I imagine is when they started proposing to build this passenger terminal on the pier, this was probably an industrial section of a bygone era, and they tore it down and they redeveloped it. And then I give hints to this later as we start adding other parts just to the right of your screen. So, where do all these people park? They park in the parking garage. Or a multi-story car park. But this parking garage, I imagine, is shared with these 3 hotels. I'm imagining that the developer has made these hotels work together. These might be different chains, but I'm pretty sure the hotels lease the property. And that the property owner maintains this parking structure. While the hotel chains maintain their building, the landowner maintains the surface lots and the roadway and that multi-level car park or parking garage, depending on where in the world you are. But the streets with the markings, like the arrows and the crosswalks, would be maintained by the city. And I use this curved street to purposely slow down traffic. Not that there's going to be heavy traffic. It's a hotel, right? But it should alleviate commercial traffic, like big trucks, from using it to connect to another part of the city. It should at least help, because they naturally will slow down. Although there's no need for them at the moment to drive through this part of town to connect to any other part of town, because this is the only part of town there is. So, I mean, maybe. My goal is to kind of force them onto the highway. And if I have to, I'll ban heavy traffic. Probably with traffic manager. So we use smaller commercial, the little hot dog van makes deliveries to these instead of the big semi. And so I'm placing things that would at least give guests the, like, a way, maybe a way to just like escape the room, but they are not sure what they want to do, or like, hey, meet me at the gazebo, or maybe the guests are encouraged to go out to the gazebo to wait for an Uber or a Lyft or a taxi. Or maybe this is where the shuttle does a pickup. I don't know. I don't think I have the bus route in. But this would be a little area for them to get out. Maybe they're waiting for somebody to grab their car in the parking garage. And instead of everybody walking into the garage, the one driver runs in, grabs it, and I should make, if that's the purpose, I should make that have an extra lane. Hashtag more to come. I don't know. But I decided that these palm trees on this street only line the side of the street that doesn't have street lights. I don't know why I decided that, but I did. And then I'm thinking, I need accessible parking. I also need electronic vehicle parking. Or electric vehicle. I guess all vehicles are electronic. But electric powered vehicles. And then I realized I might need even like bus parking. Now, since it hardly rains in this city, I think I reasoned out that I would share the burden on the surface lots between the hotels. Just make sure there's a nice wide van parking. That network line, that's so good. It's just so good. If you don't have it, you need to get it. I promise you, you're gonna like it. And I'm looking at the lots. I'm like, which lot's gonna get what? Oh, and here's a trick. Draw a straight line with your prop line tool and then bend it. Boop. I held down Control as I drew the line, and then it lets you alter your line. You can alter the spacing, bend it, move it into place. It's pretty handy. I don't think we're ever going to get rid of prop line tool, but I see more and more things being done on the network tiling. You know, the fence tool that we have now. Prop line tool is handy for many reasons, but replacing the use of fences with the fence tool, or barriers like a highway median with the fence tool, will severely cut down on the amount of props that we use. There. And I'm like, I think I addressed that. Although that's parking. Technically, it's... No, I think that's just an access road and not the parking. I'm like, these guys at least need something that looks more hotel-ish than a patch of grass. So I put in this fountain in this walkway. This is probably where people go take a seat. They go have a moment. Vacations can be stressful. We want it to be stress-free. Maybe they're nervous about getting on a boat if they're going to take a cruise. I'm like, I could put all these trees down, all these bushes, but then it looks kind of unkept. I don't think I was satisfied. I was like, well, we could put like this fancy grass down where like it's really, you know, mowed over nicely. I'm like, I don't even think I'd do that. I think I settled for palm trees. I settled for palm trees, guys. Who would have thought? Anyway, it's, you know, that if I were to go to this town on vacation, I would expect to see palm trees. And now I'm going to borrow what I've done before and place it here. But I think I make it bigger. I didn't use the fence tool for this. They're too perfect. Look at them there. I might have to go back and read. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll go and redo it. The only thing with the fence tool is those little pieces that stick out from the back, the longer fence. Those, if you use the fence tool, it squishes the graphic, so it makes it look like there's a million supports. So this area, hopefully, I don't know how far we get with this particular episode. But there's all these curb planters that are on the network, which are phenomenal. Thank you, King Leno. Put some trash cans down, call it a day, move on. And decorate. A whole lot of foliage. What hotel does not have flowers somewhere? You show me that hotel and we'll make it. I'm not talking motel. I'm not talking a motel out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods. I'm sure there's even few potted plants. But I expect them to at least have some flowers. Aha. The Westin. Did you know this was a Westin hotel? Me either. Until I put the sign on top. So I used move it, obviously, to move it. And so now all of a sudden we have this nice Westin hotel. The other ones have no name. Trees and parking lots. Trees and parking lots. Trees and parking lots. Trees and parking lots. Did you know this game was the tree and parking lot simulator? Control C or Command C on Mac. Copy that. Done. I like Surface Painter, but sometimes I know I orientated the streets going from the ocean back to land, so going inland. For the most, they are on the tiny grid that is in the game, so Surface Painter works well until I start doing things with that one particular street which I like. No, go back. Put in those. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? This is like watching a disaster happen. Undo everything you just did and put in those electric vehicle. Are you gonna leave there? Okay, good. Whew. I thought for a minute I lost my mind. I learned recently that cars will turn around in these parking lots. They'll go from one side to the other on that concrete, not on the asphalt, but on the concrete. If they drive a loop. So ideally it would be good to have your access road on both sides of that parking lot. So have the parking lot access road. Here's the bus parking. God, this is so handy. And boom. We only let 2 buses park here. There. We don't let any more park. Just 2. That's it. Bus. It's kind of like Malkovich. Bus. I recently rewatched Being John Malkovich. Talk about still good to this day. If you haven't ever seen it, I highly recommend it. There. Oh, what did I do? I did something wrong. Fixed it. I fixed it. Look. Bus. Now I'm forever gonna say that in my head. Bus. Oh, I leave one there. Nice. Now it's just bus. At least when you read it this way, it's just bus. Technically, I guess it's bus sub. Although, technically it's 5N, and there's no real, like, I mean, it could be a figure 8. Oh, hold down control, place it, and bend it. There. I deleted the trees. Hooray. Wait, no, we want more trees. Sorry, that's the opposite. We want more trees. We have to pretty up the harbor edge. It looks pretty blah for these tourists. We're gonna line it. Although maybe they get a kick out of seeing the ocean. I don't know. Threes. Our landscape designer planted things in threes. The number 3. Now these parking lot roads, man, they save so much time. Again, I encourage you, if you have this game on a desktop computer, I highly suggest you get, if you want to play with mods and assets. Unless you like your streets being crowded with cars parked alongside it. Sometimes, oh, there we go. Look at that. I finally did it. If you like having parked cars all over your roads, then by all means don't get parking lot roads. But what's handy is these are actually buildings. Those parking lot lines and the curb, these are all buildings. These all count towards buildings and not props. So that's key, especially if you do a lot of detailing. This is the only pool property, or this is the only hotel with a pool, but all of the hotels can use this pool. We also assume that people that are going on the cruise ships are going to use the pool on the cruise ship and not necessarily this pool. Or they'll swim in the ocean when they have that opportunity. Oh, look, it's saved. Save the game and make sure we could take away this trash container and hope it doesn't... Oh! It crashed. We're back. Whew. Now the question is, what do I do? Let's get some people. We need to get some people living in this place. So maybe some stylish new urban redevelopment condos. Maybe they'll go in here. Maybe they'll go over there. Who knows? Who knows? But this is the start of actually having people live in our town. Congratulations. We have a population of 1. They're very unhappy, but we have a population of 1. Oh, we have a population of 20. Look out. Oh, there's a train. By the time I said it, it's gone off your screen. I'm sorry. Like, do they make a wavy road? Is this a wavy road? Is this for... Oh, I killed all their houses. Whoops. We have a population of 0 again. Look at that. I'm going to give you a news flash. We don't keep those condos there. I think in the next episode, we alter it. Maybe. I'm not going to commit to it. I can tell you, however, we are going to be making a convention center. Because what good is it to have hotels without, you know, a way for people to convene? Maybe we hold Gen Con here. Maybe we hold Comic Con. Maybe we hold TwitchCon. Maybe we hold YouTube Con. Wait, is there a YouTube Con? If there isn't, there should be. Can you imagine? That would be huge. Everybody needs Sherlock's coffee. So I'm thinking my process here is like, where do they park? Do I share trash services between these two buildings? I'm also thinking about locals. Like, are locals gonna drive here? I imagine more so you're going to have people that stay in the hotels that will be using this coffee. So I gave accessible parking space towards both establishments. They're sharing this parking lot, primary parking lot. That doesn't mean that people don't park in other parking lots in the area to get to these guys, but these are their primary. You would expect to be able to park here if you're going to one of these establishments. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, I love these lights. They're modern avenue lights. I don't know. It's part of my list that's linked down below. When we're wrapping it up near the end, I'm going to let it take it away. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing. I look forward to talking to you guys on Twitch or here in the comments down below. My name is Azili, and until next time, be good to each other.